Welcome along to our match reaction, ladies and gentlemen, after Liverpool beat Everton by 2-1 in the Merseyside Derby. Goals from Ryan Gravenberch and Hugo Ekitike mean that the Reds stayed perfect. Yes, it wasn't vintage. Yes, it wasn't perfection. But you know what it was? Another win. Many teams are looking on enviously as the Reds, still working it out, but we're doing it from a position of perfection. 5 wins from 5. We can sit back now and watch the rest of the weekend's fixture unfold, knowing that nothing can, well, stop us from being perfect. We will talk about exactly what happened today. 2 goals up and we conceded again. We'll try to pick the bones out of that one. But we'll also give you guys a chance to vote for your Anfield Agenda Man of the Match. Those options are in the chat now. Hayden Butler also, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC as a member, my friend. The options today for your Man of the Match vote: Milos Kerkez, Ryan Gravenberch, Hugo Ekitike or Virgil van Dijk. Do let us know what you're thinking in that regard. I'll run through some of the numbers from the game for you in a second. But look, I know people are going to talk about some negativity and some things that we could have done better. But let's not get past the fact that we've won another game of football. And this time, we went 2 goals up and we weren't pegged back all the way. That's progress, right? It's not perfect, but it's progress. Joseph said, I don't even think we were bad in the second half. No, we didn't give up too many chances in the second half, Joseph. But you know what? There were a couple of occasions there where I felt like a counter-attack was just one little drop of the shoulder or one correct pass away from killing it off. It is coming together, but there are still things that need to be worked out. A couple of things I want to say today. I thought Hugo Ekitike led the line magnificently well up there. Great to see him get a goal as well. When Isak came home, he didn't really find a way to get him too involved in the game, but that will be more invaluable minutes in his legs. Want to give a shout out to our 2 fullbacks today, who I thought did pretty good. Obviously, Conor Bradley was up against a tricky operator in Jack Grealish, and I thought that he dealt with him pretty well. On the other side, Milos Kerkez, well done. Got through the game, didn't do anything rash, and I'll take that as progress. Middle of the park, though, I thought Maka looked a little bit off the pace, but that's not unusual. He is coming back to full fitness. Szoboszlai, I thought, put in another good shift. Mo was top-notch today. That is Mo back to the Mo we know and love. And I got to say, his assist and ball in for Gravenberch I thought was fantastic, as well as Ryan's finish. So that is my little summary from where we are right now. But I want to get into your comments, so do let me know what you're thinking. Cody Gaming and Football said, shout out to Kerkez today. Was nervous seeing him over Robbo in such a spirited game, but he played well, disciplined, and won so many defensive headers. I agree. The downside is, of course, the goal that we gave away. And once again, it was a goal we gave away from being in possession. Maka tried to play a ball around midfield. I think it was either into Gravenberch or Szoboszlai. It was never on, and Everton moved from there and got themselves a goal. It was a fine finish from Idrissa Gana Gueye. You know, no problem saying that. But it is something that we can learn from. And again, something that we've got to make sure we do better, protecting the football in transition. Some of the underlying numbers from the game for you. Possession-wise, Liverpool 58% to Everton 42, excuse me. 11 shots from the Reds, 3 on target. 9 shots from Everton, 2 on target. Dangerous attacks, Everton had more of them in the game. 49 for the Reds, 59 for Everton. Corners, 5 to Liverpool, 4 to the Blues. Total passes, 466 for Liverpool with an 85% pass accuracy. Everton, 335 passes with a 76% accuracy. Chris Tatton Music said, a win is a win, but my God, we don't make it easy. No, we don't. And what we've seen so far, folks, and I hope you'll agree with me on this, is in the last couple of games in particular, we've seen patches of brilliance. So the first 20-25 minutes today, again, I thought we were unplayable. But we need to make sure that these patches become longer, more frequent, and the norm. Because we cannot be dropping away when we go 2-0 up like we did. We have to find a way to step on the opponent's throat and kill these games off. David Sultana said, good in the first half, a struggle in the second. I thought we weren't under too much pressure in the second. Everton had moments. And once they got the goal, it was obviously going to give them an added boost. But look, I thought we did okay. There was never times there where I was really sweating that we were going to give away that second goal. That being said, I do think in transition we could have killed it off sooner. Let's go and have a look at the Man of the Match poll as well. If you haven't had a chance to vote yet, your options are Kerkez, Gravenberch, Ekitike or Virgil van Dijk. A few bits and pieces from me if I can before I get stuck into more comments. If you do enjoy the stream, make sure you hit that like button for me, folks. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do that as well. Noel said, I love being a Liverpool supporter. They're putting us through it, Noel, at the minute. But as I said, mate, happy to have these conversations and figure out what's going right and wrong. But the most important stat is Liverpool have played 5 games in the Premier League, won 5 games in the Premier League. And I'll take that. It's a Merseyside Derby out of the way, Newcastle away out of the way, we've Arsenal out of the way. So some tricky fixtures navigated this week. And again, all wins. Declan said, hi mate, another man of the match for Gravenberch. Didn't turn up after we went 2-0 up again. It's like Slot says, sit off and counter. I don't like that we don't continue the way we are, Declan. I understand the theory of it, and I'm sure most of us would agree. Yes, Arne doesn't want to be so gung-ho and to kill off the game. But surely he's seen in the Premier League, it is at least causing us hardship that we step off. You know, go get that third. Keep playing. Keep doing what you're doing to get in the position and, kill these games off quicker. But I think we're getting there. You know, it's progress because we only conceded 1 today. Liquid said, we should slow down the game when we're 2-0 up. We should not slow down the game, when we're 2-0 up. I agree. I do agree with all of your points. I also wish we'd just protect the ball better in transition because, like I said to you guys, for years at this point, we're at our most vulnerable when we're in possession. Rabadan said, Gravenberch's terrific today and worth noting that Moyes actually understands how to use Grealish, unlike the fraud in the blue Manchester City manager. I think it's time to try a different player for left wing, said Nessie. It's a fair understanding. Look, I don't think Gakpo is terrible today, but he didn't set the world on fire again. So it is a position that I would say is up for grabs at this moment in time. Whether Wirtz or young Rio can make it their own, that remains to be seen. But I agree, and I understand where you're coming from. I do want to say, though, I want to give credit to our fullbacks today. They didn't have an easy task, especially Conor Bradley on the right-hand side, but he stuck to his task, and I thought he dealt with Grealish as well as could be expected. Dave's random video said, game management is at 50%, but we're getting there. Left wing is dead offensively, said Radu. I agree. I believe it is a position that is up for grabs and that if somebody takes their chance out there when they get it, they could make the position their own for a while. I don't think it's unfair to say that. Craig Dunning said, hi Craig, I'm happy with the win, but I think we need to be stronger, definitely in the lead. I thought Bradley had a great day, said Bow Hunter. Gakpo is a passenger at this point, said Cohen. I get it. I do get it. But let's not lose sight of the fact that we won the game. But I think these are fair critiquings. You're not just saying he's shit or sell him. To say that he's underwhelming, I think has been fair. You know, we know what Cody can give. We know what he's capable of. But so far, we're just not seeing... We're not seeing the end product really as well from Cody. So I do think it's understandable what you're saying. HFMCE said Everton small club mentality, celebrating win in the second half. Liverpool, too many new players, therefore still trying to find the right formula. I'm happy that we're seeing the patches though. Like, you can see the ambition of the team and you can see what Arne wants to do. Just it needs to stop being a 25-30 minute burst and it needs to become 60 minutes. And if we can do that, we can win these games a lot easier and a lot quicker. But that being said, like I always say to you guys, lovely to have these conversations with you after a win and another 3 points. Didinho said, Wirtz on the left is a waste. Rio is the man. I do have to say, Wirtz never got up to the speed of the game when he came on. It is often difficult to come into a game like a Merseyside Derby or that high-intensity Atletico Madrid game, but it did kind of pass him by a bit. And we weren't really able to get Isak too involved either, which I was disappointed in, because there were moments I felt if we did defend and move quickly through the lines, we could have found a way to get Isak involved. But again, we managed the game better in the last 10 minutes, didn't give up too many late chances, and certainly in stoppage time, didn't really give them a sniff in our half. The Bins said, I don't want to see any more slick training footage when they don't actually shoot during the match. It's a dangerous game. Both wings are poor at the minute. I would disagree on both wings. I thought Mo looked okay again today. Better than I'd seen him in the first 4 Premier League games. I think this is Mo starting to get his way back in. But the shooting thing I agree on. There was one situation that really wound me up, and it was the ball was played into Szoboszlai, right side of the edge of their box, and it was on his left foot. And granted, he's stronger on his right, but he turned back onto the right, which was into traffic, and he lost possession. He could have either hit it with his left or spread it out further left-hand side. So those little things, I think, will come with more repetition and confidence. Suleiman said at least not conceding 2 goals again is progress. Exactly, my man. Exactly. This time we went 2-0 up and only conceded 1. So, progress. But still not perfect, right? Yasha said our intensity after going 2-0 up is huge. We could have been quicker for the Ghana goal, not sit off. It is concerning, right? I can't push back against anybody who thinks, what happens when we go 2-0 up? Like, where does the Liverpool team that we all know and love go? Because to get to that point, I think we'll all agree, the first 20-25 was sensational. Chopping into challenges, pressing them all over the pitch, high intensity, giving them nothing. But then almost like psychologically, a switch goes off when we go 2-0 up, and all of a sudden we feel we've something to lose. And we become a little bit more passive. And we don't even keep the ball well when we do it. It is just frustrating. We drop off and almost turn into a counter-attacking team then. Need to find a way to control possession better when we have these leads and control the tempo of the game better. Not just drop off and assume we can catch him on a counter. Do you think Cody is trying too hard? I honestly can't say I've given why his performances aren't his best much thought, Dan. But again, I'm going to say the same thing that you probably expect me to say. Way too much cutting inside, nowhere near enough going around the outside and giving the defender something to think about. Cutting inside is great in theory, but like I've said many times, it can slow down our attacks, you can run into traffic, and it just becomes too predictable. Get to the byline, fire in a low cross, a ricochet, anything can happen. I'd just like to see it done a little bit more. John Schubert said, how many games should it take for a team to gel? It could take half a season, John, in all honesty. But, let's not lose fact of one important thing here. We won. Again. We've played 6 games of football this season, and we've won them all, ladies and gentlemen. It's not perfect, but let's not, lose our minds here. We're winning games of football. Arsenal fans, City fans, United fans, they'd all love to be in our position having this conversation after winning another game. Gravels by far man of the match, said Ragnar. I thought he was brilliant again, mate. No qualms from me about agreeing with you on that one. I thought Grafenberg was top notch. Ant-Man said, as we know, football is about momentum, and we had it early and then lost it. However, I'd like us to try pass more in midfield rather than back 4 and keeper. Should have kept Lucho. Why? Genuinely, why? Like, Rio doesn't get the minutes yet, but he can do everything Lucho can do, except maybe the aerial work. So, I don't think it was lacking of the type of left winger today that could have taken men on. I just think he didn't give Rio the opportunity and brought Florian Wirtz on. I can understand why he brought Florian Wirtz on, but Wirtz didn't get up to the speed of the game at all for me. So, I don't like to look backwards, and I don't like to talk about players that are no longer here. We have a different type of left winger, and he got 15 minutes against Atletico Madrid at the weekend, and I'm sure he'll get the game on Tuesday, and we'll see more of him. But, the players that are here, and let's get behind them, and we can talk about what they can do differently and better, but, the players that didn't want to be here aren't here. It is what it is. Can you add the officials to the man of the match vote? 3 minutes, the lowest in the league this season. No. Why would... No. I do give the officials a score, the referee a score, mate, in the player ratings, but, I didn't pick the 3 minutes today. The referee did. There wasn't too many stoppages, in all honesty, if we're being frank about that. Substitutions are supposed to be 30 seconds per set of substitutions. I think both managers probably made 2 lots, if I'm right, in the second half, so that's 2 minutes. Outside of that, there was a bit of a stoppage for the free kick late in the game on the right-hand side, but I don't think maybe 1 more minute max, but I certainly don't think it was a ridiculous amount of added on time. It was maybe a minute short. Sharkovic said, Craig, the thing is, if Gakpo isn't Dutch, I find it hard to think he'd be starting every week. So, honestly, Sharkovic, let me just get you right here. You think our manager is playing favourites because of countrymen? Just think about that for a second, mate. You're making the accusation at our manager that he's only playing Cody Gakpo because he's Dutch. I don't agree. I think he's playing Cody Gakpo because Cody Gakpo is a senior international who has played for us for a long time. Now, I'm not saying he can't do better. I'm not disagreeing that his performances haven't been brilliant, but I'm not having it. The manager's just playing him because he's Dutch. I just don't think that's fair. Colin said we can't play like that in the second half against Palace. So, can I just say one thing to everybody? Please look to the positives, because 90% of the comments I've read out are negatives. Again, I'm not saying we can't be better, but please don't go on like we've lost another game of football. We've won another game. And yes, we conceded a goal. Teams concede goals, but you know what we didn't do? Concede the second, which we have done in other games. So any win in the derby is a win. And, be positive. Talk about the good things you've seen today. The goal from Gravenberch is an example. Absolutely wonderful. Mohamed Salah playing a beautifully way to pass into him. Gravenberch taking it on the run, didn't even break his stride. Just glided it over the keeper. Ekitike, lovely playing on the shoulder. Lovely slide rule pass in from Ryan Gravenberch. Ekitike slots it under the goalkeeper. Can we talk about that shit as well? Lolly said, it's a better start than last season. No complaining. Exactly, mate. Exactly. We're perfect. 5 wins from 5. Arsenal fans would bite your hand off for the start we've had. Don't even activate our slottage time chip today. Exactly. It's in the bank, Ash. Didn't need to use it today. Damien said, Wirtz is finding his feet. Reminds me of Szoboszlai. He will come good. Isak and Salah had some good moments. Kirkes was great. And Gravenberch, unreal. On Kirkes, let's give him his flowers today. We all said Merseyside Derby is this game for Milos. Will he be able to control his aggression, his temperament? And he did. So I want to give him his fair dues as well. Our 2 centre-backs, I've got to say, I'm really pleased. Yes, we gave away a goal, but this is Canada and Virgil, the ones that we've seen. I've no complaints about Canade's focus. I thought he was back at it again today. Sharkovic said, but he doesn't deserve to be a starting winger, Craig. Right, and I'm not trying to argue that point with you, mate. But my point was, again, you didn't say, I don't like how he's playing. You said the manager's picking him because he's Dutch. Remember? Let's be honest, dude. If you want to have this conversation, no problem, but be honest and sincere. You said he doesn't deserve to be a starting winger. Fair enough. Who else is going out there? A 17-year-old kid in a Merseyside derby? Big call, right? Big call for the manager to make there. Wirtz on the left. Will be seen when he went out to the left today. He wasn't at it. So of the collection of 3 players that are potentially available to play out there at the minute, I think he made the right call. You mightn't agree with me, but I'm not saying Gakpo can't be better, because he can. But, he's an established international. He helps us defensively. There are things he does well. I just think people are being overly negative for no reason. Where was I? Did I do Damien's one? I did. This one from Stephen McGrew. I don't know of another club who's brought on this many new players and wins every match. Love this club. It's going to get better. It is, of course. Kieran said 5 from 5 lucky. Is it? Is it though, Kieran? Like, is it really lucky? Why? Why is it lucky? Is it lucky that they have the balls to go up the other end of the pitch and find a winner when teams get back level? You call that luck? I call that heart and determination. Fuck me. Do you support Liverpool? 5 out of 5 lucky. No. 5 out of 5 winning mentality. 5 out of 5 fucking champions. 5 out of 5 winners. Another win. Let's go, boys. You up, Craig? 5-0-0 equals 15 points. That's all that really matters, said Dan Woods. Didinho said FFS, you law, 6 clear at the top of the league. I know. This is not pleasing some people, mate. Look, it's fine to say we can be better. Of course we can. But if you said to me this week, Craig, I'm going to give you a 3-2 victory over Atletico Madrid and a 2-1 win in the derby, would you take it? I would absolutely bite your hand off for it. 100%. This is a great start to the season. You know, I'm never going to complain as a Liverpool fan to be 5 wins from 5 in the league. And potentially, depending on tomorrow's results, as we sit here now, 6 clear at the top. I'll take it. Because we will get better. And can you imagine how we're going to be when we do hit our stride? More positive, Slot prepared to rotate this season, said Ned Sports. John Schubert said, this just shows the bar is high. Love it. Yeah. And the level that we're capable of, that we can get to, ooh. Yeah. We're going to take some stopping this year. Like, I'm not disagreeing that there are things we can do better. Of course not. I think that's more than fair. But we're perfect. And let's just take a minute to appreciate that. You know, because we wondered ourselves whether the change is going to have a negative impact. Was it going to take time for them to settle in? And it is. But again, we're finding a way. And if we can go through 38 games of finding a way, I'll be happy at the end of it as long as we have that gold badge on the shirt again next year. Let's give you through some numbers from this one. So Ryan Gravenberch, your man of the match. 1 goal, well, sorry, TNT Sports man of the match. You haven't fully voted for your one just yet. So, goals 1, assists 1, accurate passes 47 out of 56 for Ryan, 84% in total. Chances created 1, big chances created 1, successful dribbles 1 out of 1, final third passes 8, recovery 7, and duels 1, 7 of 11 at 64%. And he was TNT Sports man of the match. Ryan Gravenberch, speaking on the game, said, the coach has given me the confidence this season. I have more freedom in midfield. Last season I was 6 deep. Now I can get forward. Nice little bit of insight there from Ryan as well on manager giving him a bit more freedom this year to get forward. Squawka have put up a nice stat to say Ryan Gravenberch's the youngest ever player to both score and assist for Liverpool in a Premier League Merseyside Derby. Peter Lawrence said, I think the problem of losing momentum stems in midfield. Gakpo and Salah suffer the criticism when midfield gets jittery. It would be interesting to hear from the manager on it, wouldn't it? To hear if there is something communicated to the lads at 2-0 or even before the game. Because, you know, the point of we get to 2 and then things start to go different, that's fair. You know, we can all see that with our own eyes. Every time we've gotten to a 2-0 lead, something mentally has changed. Don't know if it's, now we've got something to lose or whatever. So these little tweaks and alterations, I'm sure, will be made as the season goes on. But, you know, I'm a very, very proud and happy Liverpool fan right now. And look, it's a derby. Sometimes they ain't going to be pretty. But, you know, we had the heartache last year in that derby at Goodison of that late, very contentious goal. So, again, to make sure Moyes has no wins at Anfield, you know, that's a good start. I'll take it. interesting week coming up ahead, of course. Lots to look forward to on Tuesday as we see the likes of Giovanni Leone. I'm sure Federico Chiesa, Rio Engamoa. That team selection is going to be an interesting one. Ash Thomas says, Gravenberch easily man of the match, but Grealish is always a handful, and I thought that Connor put in a very mature performance. He stuck to his task, didn't he? Didn't, make rash challenges, didn't lunge in, just made Grealish make the decisions. And I thought it was a very good performance defensively from Connor Bradley. HFMCE said, there are too many fans with the can't be contented. I understand there are concerns, but I thought Liverpool lost all game so far. It baffles me sometimes, mate. And look, I'm somebody who loves the critique. I'm somebody who wants better and somebody who talks about, what we can do better. But I'm also very, very understanding of how difficult it is to win games of football in the Premier League. And come hell or high water this season, we've done it every single time. And like I said, imagine what it's going to be like when we do click and we do bring it all together for just not a 20-25 minute period in a game. It's a better slot than last season, said Lolly. No complaint, or don't complain. I would be interested though, Lolly, to hear what the manager says about these 2-0 leads. It'd be interesting to know if there is an instruction or something from the manager on what the boys should be doing. But look, as I said, it's progress. We conceded one, and it was a good finish from Idrissa Gana Gueye. It was a good strike from him. But look, I'm happy because now we get to enjoy the weekend. Sit back, feet up. No, we've a nice game to look forward to on Tuesday night as well. We're going to see some of the fringe and younger players. I put together my prediction. I'm going to record that later on. That'll be coming out tomorrow morning. So yeah, there is a lot to look forward to and a lot to be optimistic about. Let's check the man of the match poll. We're over 4,000 votes now. And I think I can call it because it's a landslide. With 77% of over 4,000 votes, your Anfield Agenda man of the match is the same as BT or TNT Sport, I should say. Congratulations to Ryan Gravenberch, a very, very deserving winner. Second place was joint between Ugo Ekitike and Milos Kerkez, and VVD coming in fourth. But yes, well done to Ryan for another incredible performance today. What's the best result for us in the City Arsenal game? So we ran a poll on this one last night, and a draw was the most voted for answer. For me, I'd love any loss for any of them. I think there's benefits to either side losing. If Arsenal lose, we've 6 points over both of them, and we can say that definitively now. And if City lose, we've 9 points over them, and it's bye-bye to them in the title race this season. After 5 games, dropping 9 points, they're not getting into a title race. So there are benefits to either side losing for me. And, we talked all week about the fact that if we win our game, we can sit back, feet up and enjoy. Well, we've done our part. And yeah, it might not have been the best. It might not have been vintage, but we can enjoy now. United, Chelsea, at 5:30 this evening. We can sit back and see how that one goes. And yeah, I'm buzzing, lads, honestly. Yeah, look, I agree there's more to do. I'm not going to push back on that, but come on now. 5 from 5 and a win in the Champions League. This is a good start to the season. It's weird to say our defenders are playing well, but we still concede goals. Any thoughts on what's gone, judging the last few games? It's just a drop-off in, I guess, aggression, intensity and forward-thinking play when we go 2-0 up. We don't know as fans whether it's under instruction or whether it's a mental thing, but there is a change when we get to the 2-goal lead. So if we can find a way to get that balance between not dropping too deep, not trying to soak it up and counter, and just go kill it off, I don't think we'll be too far off having these games won, a lot of them within 60 minutes. Turn said 5 from 5 ain't bad. It's not too shabby, dude. Not too shabby. Yasha said, Grav seems to play an 8 when we attack and Dom is a 6. His strength and turns are getting goals and assists. Grav for the Ballon d'Or. Honestly, I'm so happy you guys are giving Grav the love he deserves. And it was interesting to hear from him as well to say, that he's now been given license to get a bit further forward, whereas last year he was deep, deep, deep. Now Aaron has given him that ability to get into the box. And look, we've seen today when he did make that run in and Mo found him, that was a very accomplished finish from him. It wasn't an easy one. He could have skied it, could have put the laces through it, but he just caressed it over Pickford and into the goal. Really, really good finish from Ryan. Kada said Maka has not looked in flow at all. I think that's fair. But we do know that Maka's been playing catch-up, right? So we didn't have a full, proper pre-season. He was carrying a knock and a niggle. And I think he will get better. I think it was right to take him off as well today. I think the substitutions that Arna made, I totally understood. He wanted to get Ekitike to probably have that moment as well to get the standing ovation for his goal when he was taken off. But I do think the change from McAllister and Jones, I thought Jones brought a lot more to the game when he came on than McAllister was able to do. Jones was picking up good pockets of space in that as well. So look, it's a work in progress, that's fair to say, but 5 from 5, ladies and gents, 5 from 5. As an unbiased United fan, VVD had another bad game? No, he didn't. I don't know what game you were watching, mate, but VVD in no way had a bad game. So I can't know how you can say he's an unbiased United fan. VVD was nowhere near having a bad game, dude. Both of our centre-backs, in my opinion, played well today. Do we play a younger team for the Cup next week, or do we use to keep new players gelling? Oh, I would say definitely younger team. Well, at least the team that I've tried to guess, which I'm going to record that preview tonight and it'll be out tomorrow. It'll be a bit of a balance, the one that I'm going to put for my guess, but ultimately it will be leaning into younger players quite a bit. In midfield, my most senior player is probably going to be Curtis Jones. In defence, there will be a senior player or two in there as well. Expect Mamadou in goal as an example, and Rio Neone probably to play. Thoughts on prediction for Spurs Brighton? It's an interesting one. It's at the Amex, right? I'm going to say 2-1 win for Spurs. What are we going to be like once we completely gel, said Nav. Incredible, unstoppable, delicious. Right, ladies and gentlemen, last shout before I go and record the player ratings. But if you would like to submit them, still time to do it. All you need to do is scan the QR code on the screen there, and that will bring you to the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. And that way you will see the link in there to submit your player ratings. We also put in polls, fun posts, and take the piss out of United a little bit in that group. So if you'd like to join, please scan that QR code and join the almost 15,000 people who are in there. Right, ladies and gentlemen, love you guys to bits. Thank you for joining me for this early one. I will see you tonight at 8 o'clock for the Late Night Agenda, so I hope you can join me for that. I'm recording an episode of the podcast today with the lads as well. That'll be coming out tomorrow at lunchtime for you. And we're winning again, 5 from 5. You'll definitely be enjoying match of the day tonight. Appreciate the shit out of you guys, I really do. Thank you so much for your love and support as always. If I could ask you to hit the like button for me before you head off, gotta have 1,000 likes and a Derby win, right? Gotta do it. So hit that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And I will see you wonderful human beings tonight at 8 p.m. for the Late Night Agenda. Much love. Enjoy yourself.